This video is going to be fairly sloppy and I'm going to have to apologise for it right here and right now, but yeah! How's it going, guys? My name is OneZimNet and welcome back to the Battle Union, where I haven't actually done any draft analysis yet. I seem to have been dropping the ball on those recently. I don't tend to be doing them very much. I will probably do one during the next couple of days, but not right now because I kind of need to get the battle uploaded, and if I don't get the battle uploaded now, then I'm probably going to get screwed at. But yeah, there's not going to be any team builder for this week either. I'm going to have to apologise for that one very, very hard as well, because unfortunately I just simply don't have the time or resources to actually get these videos formatted properly just yet. I will be in the next coming days, so from week 2 onwards you'll see more signature onesie Benetti things from me when it comes to these. But yeah, this one's going to end up being a little bit rushed, but hey ho, it should still, you know, at least be something. I apologise for that profusely, but yeah. The team that I am facing today is Reddython and his Tennessee Tynamos, I believe. And yeah, quite frankly, he's got a very terrifying team, but I felt like I had a very good matchup against it. I will say this just before we go in. He does have Megalopony in his draft, which pretty much kinda shits all over me if I don't bring Slowbro. So I was kind of forced to bring Slowbro. I was kind of forced to prep for Megalopony ever so slightly, but he decided not to bring it, and it meant that Slowbro itself was a little bit redundant here, but I still thought that it could do fairly well against what he'd brought, because it can hit, the one that I've brought has Psychic, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam, so it hits 4 of his Pokemon super effectively, and tanks hits from possibly Sizzle, possibly Dragonite, and not really Delmise at all, really, but hey-ho. It should also do fairly well against the Swanna, which was his meme pick, which is pretty nice. But yeah, the team I've brought is Z Draco Meteor, Hydreigon to try and just nuke something early game, Max Special Attack Fortress with only 1 attacking move in Volt Switch, with Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, and Toxic. Like I've said, 3 attacks, Slowbro with Psychic, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Slack Off. With Leftovers and Regenerator, and a Choice Scarf Imposter Ditto, because if I could steal like a setup Mega Scizor, I can just counter sweep. Talonflame with no item, Acrobatics, Will-O-Wisp, U-Turn, and Toxic. No, it wasn't Toxic, it was Flamethrower, because I would only have needed Flare Blitz to hit the Scizor, and I could do that with Flamethrower anyway and just 2-hit KO it. So that was what that was for. And Mega Beedrill with U-Turn, Poison Jab, Knock Off, Protect. Protect was just in case he wanted to bring something like Fake Out Lopunny, which I thought was a possibility that could come. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this match and see what happens in TBU Week 1. Now, actually, just before we do, I just want to make it clear that I do like to make something out of these videos. So starting week 2, you'll see typical onesie Benetness slapped all over these videos. So yeah, if you can excuse me for week 1, we should have something nice here. God damn it, video, why are you so slow? Oh, Jesus Christ. I probably should also put this onto plus something speed, if I can work out how to do that. Playback speed. I'm gonna pop this onto a higher speed. Let's just do that on camera real quick. Yeah, he's gonna lead off with his Nidoqueen, and I'm going to lead off with my Hydreigon. And the reason for that was it had a fairly good matchup against everything he wanted to possibly lead with, and I could just fire off a Z Draco Meteor, which will just do hella damage to something. He decides to go out into his Alomomola, and I'm just gonna pop my Draco, my devastating Drake turn 1, and we're going to do massive damage to this Alomomola, which is always a great thing to do turn 1. Unfortunately, it's not the greatest thing in the world, because Alomomola does have Regenerator as it's a thing, and if it does survive this, it will be able to heal itself back up in the future. Is it gonna? Yes, it is, just about. Very, very close. I was wondering if this was a roll after the game, and it was not. He had packed just enough special defense investment to be able to live that. And yeah, he's going to be able to protect up and get a bit more leftovers back, and that's my Z Draco Meteor kind of lost now, because if he's just going to get that residual damage, and he's going to be able to just, you know, keep this thing alive fairly well. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower here, I believe, predicting the... No, I'm not. Sorry. I'm going to go for U-Turn, predicting the... something to come in. I didn't want to predict Scizor coming in at that point because, you know, he could easily have just stayed in and I would have failed to kill it. But I'm going to go out into my Mega Beedrill and manage to get my Mega up early. I outspeed this thing, and Poison Jab was a KO from that range. He's going to go out into the Scizor, and I'm just going to get a fairly simple... I'm going to be able to get a fairly simple, easy Mega Evolution off, and I can just go straight for that U-turn. Not sure what he wants to do here. I'm pretty sure that he can live a hit, but I'm going to go for Protect there just to get my Mega up, and I can go for whatever I wanted, but I was worried about a Bullet Punch there, so I'm just going to go out to Ditto. I'm going to scout this thing's moveset and see what it wants to do. Pretty sure it's going to go for a U-turn this turn, as it does. Just, you know, trying to scout what I wanted to go into, what my answer was. And going into Ditto there revealed that it had Sword Stance, Bullet Punch, Roost, and U-turn. So I was fairly confused about that, because he had no bug move apart from U-turn, but it did mean that Slowbro kind of did a little better against it, because if it wants to hit me with a super effective move, it has to hit me with a U-turn, which means it has to switch out afterwards. So yeah, I'm going to go out into Undyne my Hydreigon, just so I can like get a butt ton of damage off on something. This thing looked like it was in range of a Draco. I didn't know it spread, so I just thought, yeah, let's test the water, let's go for it, and hopefully we can take this thing out. And twice in this game, Hydreigon has just missed out on the KO. It means that Nidoqueen is able to get off a very, very strong Sludge Wave, which does a hell of damage, but it does mean that this thing's pretty much dead now. It's like the only way you can heal it back up is by going into Alomomola and getting a Wish off on it. I'm going to go for Flamethrower, predicting the Scizor. Probably a silly move, probably should have just gone for U-turn there, but I wasn't sure if U-turn would kill. And if he did decide to stay in, I would have just had no switch in if I'd have U-turned on a Nidoqueen that failed to die. So yeah, this turn I'm going to be able to get the U-turn off, which is it's fairly nice for me. And it is going to mean that I'm going to get the Switch Initiative again, go out into Avelocity the Slowbro, because it's Avelocity. That's a Maximo Park reference for anyone who doesn't get it. I friggin' adored that band when I was younger. And he's just going to throw up the obvious Wish. And this is where I'm going to have to point out something. I don't really have much for Alomomola. I'm not packing Dark Stab on my Hydreigon this week because I just thought Draco nuked everything anyway. There was not really any need for it. And I kind of lack a lot of options to hit this Alomomola, so my only option really is to try and Toxic it and hope he doesn't have a Heal Bella. So I go into Fortress there. It's kind of good for me because I do manage to peg the... I do manage to block the incoming Toxic from the Alomomola, which is fairly nice. And since I do have max special attack investment with Modest Nature, this Volt Switch is going to do a heck a ton damage. So I think I just go for Stealth Rock here in order to, you know, maybe get them up early. And I was worried about going for Volt Switch there, as he did still have Nidoqueen around for fodder. So I was worried about him going into that there. If he did, then I was kind of screwed, but I'm lucky he went into the Delmice trying to spin block me. Now he's going to go for Anchor Shot. I was fairly certain he was going for Hidden Power Fire here, but I couldn't really risk, couldn't really risk him doing anything about it. But I couldn't risk taking it. I couldn't risk him predicting it incorrectly and going for like a Power Whip on something as I switched in. So I go for the Volt Switch as he goes for Anchor Shot, and I get the switch right out into Mega Beedrill, who's just going to be able to fire off a nice U-turn. But these Stealth Rocks are going to play a huge part because they are going to mean that I'm going to take a lot of damage every time that I have to bring Beedrill in, because if I didn't have those Stealth Rocks, I could go into Beedrill all day and, you know, pressure the heck out of him. But it does mean that I'm limited unless I can get these rocks away. Yeah, I'm going to go back into my my Fortress because I know now that he has absolutely nothing to deal with. Like, he has nothing to hit Fortress with on this Scizor. It's absolutely a hard stop to him. And I have the Volt Switch so that I can, you know, I can get a good little Volt Turn core going on here. He's going to go for a U-turn, and it's going to do a decent chunk. He's going to learn that, well, he's going to learn nothing because it's a crit, so he can't really judge anything. But he's going to go out into the Delmice, and I'm going to go for a Volt Switch here, so that's going to take a bit of damage, and it's going to take a little bit more. Just slowly chipping this thing down. And if you can't tell, this is a fairly long battle. It's a fairly long battle. I do get a return crit on him, so that's fairly nice. But I'm going to go back out into Smicer the Beedrill because, you know, pressure, and luckily I did get my HP investment correct on this thing. He's then going to just switch out, go back out into Kaki, the Nidoqueen. That thing's just going to die to a U-turn. I'm going to lose my momentum, but I am going to take down the Nidoqueen. So Mega Beedrill bags the only kill that I've gotten yet this season. When I say only kill, I meant first kill. That was not spoiler. That was not a spoiler in the slightest. Because I can tell you what, this game is not a 5-0. So yeah, I'm going to get back out into Slowbro. And I'm pretty sure he's going to go out into the Alomomola, and that thing can pretty much stall me out and win 1v1. Because he does have recovery, and I can't really do enough damage to him to a point where he's going to be in trouble. The only way I'd be able to beat this thing at the moment is if I just got a load of special defense drops with Psychic, but he kind of just shrugs them off by switching out and getting his health back anyway, so this is not a good situation for me to be in. Kind of ruined not bringing Toxic on Slowbro, but I stand by my decision not to. Like, I wish I had, but I stand by my decision not to. So I'm going to go into Fortress. He's going to go for a double knockoff, which was a strange one, but he is going to get a crit, and that crit's slightly important. It's ever so slightly important later on, and I'll tell you why that is when the backlash from that kind of comes in. But he's going to go out into Rusty Whacker, mate, and I'm just going to fire a Volt Switch at this thing, get this thing even lower, and I'm just, like I said, I'm slowly chipping this team down. It's fairly nice because, you know, Stealth Rock and Volt Switch chip is deadly if I can keep momentum with this team. Kind of expose a little weakness to myself though, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. So yeah, he's going to then switch out, he's going to go back into Alomomola. I'm just going to go for a tasty, I think I went just for a U-turn here. I probably should have gone for a Poison Jab, because if I had, I would have been in a great situation, but I was worried about Sizzle coming in at this point. If I had gone for like a Poison Jab and Sizzle came in, it would have been pretty shit, because he could have just revenged me with a Bullet Punch. And Fortress is low enough where Sizzle can start doing damage, because I know it's set now. So I just go out into Slowbro to try and, I don't even know, I think I'm just trying to wear this thing down a little bit. I didn't really have too much else I could do to this thing, so I kind of needed a crit slash Spadef drop in this one. That was the only way I was going to be able to put the pressure on this thing. But he's going to go for a Protect here, so he's pretty much just playing the long game here. There's not much he can do, he's just playing a bit of stall. I went for Flamethrower on the off chance he was trying to pass that Wish into, say, Sizzle or Delmise, which I thought was an absolute possibility, because I was still kind of under the impression that Delmise was Assault Vested in order to switch into Slowbro a little bit better. But yeah, there was no way I could possibly have known. So at this point I'm like, okay, so he's starting to wear me down a little bit as well, because every time I switch in I'm going to be taking this stupid damage. So I decided to go out into my Ditto, catch, like steal his Wish passing ability, and be able to, you know, keep my team a little bit healthier for later on in the game. It's not really going to work out too well for me though, because he's then going to pull the switch into Swanna, which is going to catch his Wish as I throw up my own. Now I'm forced to switch out, and I'm forced to find something that I can switch into that can actually, you know, take a Hurricane, because I look at my team and I'm like, shit, I don't have a lot. I pretty much have Slowbro, and that's not if it gets crit. Or if he throws up a thingy, if it throws up a, I can't remember what I was going to say there. if he gets a Confusion, then I don't really have an answer. So I just go into Slowbro, take the Wish, get my health back, and go for a Psychic. No, I don't. I go for a Slack Off, I think. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since we played this game. Yeah, I go for Slack Off, just thinking he was going to maybe try and play the Hurricane game and try and get a crit, a crit or a Confusion on me. It's not going to work out that way this time, which is kind of nice, because he goes out into the Alomomola, which it's not nice in principle, but it does mean that I am going to avoid having to play bloody Hurricane games. If he missed, that would have been nasty for him. If he didn't miss, it was nasty for me. So yeah, he goes out into Alomomola, and we're back to store games. Alomomola doesn't seem to like me very much. It's because I dropped it in PPL. That's all it is. It's because I dropped it in PPL. But yeah, this is the turn where the crit mattered. Because what happened was, I'm going to pause it right here. This is the only time I really need to pause the game. But what happened there was, I thought that he was going to go for a Protect, because he didn't really want to have to, you know, get himself fairly lower. I thought he was going to go for a Protect just so he could get his Wish back and then maybe Toxic me on the next turn, or even go for a Toxic that turn, because he knew that he was in no threat from my Slowbro. I thought maybe he would go for a Toxic or a Protect, just trying to, you know, play the long game. And he goes for a knockoff, which seemed fairly strange because he'd already knocked off my Slowbro's item. I could have revealed Toxic at that point as my last move. So him going for knockoff there. Can't really tell if it was a lordly play or a dumb knockoff. Not really sure. We spoke a little bit about it after the game, but I had my girlfriend over at the time, so I couldn't really you know, stay talking on thingy for too long. Spoilers, I have a girl I've been seeing. But yeah, he's gonna go for thingy. He's gonna go for like a knockoff, and the crit that happened earlier is kind of going to come into effect there, because if he hadn't got that crit, it means I could possibly have lived another one and then got a powerful Volt Switch off and done a bit more chip damage to this thing and knocked it down. But because he got the crit on me earlier, it means that I'm now in range of another knockoff, which I calced, and it wouldn't have done enough without the crit from the last time. So kind of meant that Fortress wasn't able to do what it needed to on that turn, so it's a bit unfortunate. I thought I had the prediction right, but it kind of did come into effect. But yeah, he's going to go for a Protect, and I'm just going to go for a Volt Switch because, you know, I kind of have to. Maybe there's a chance I can live another one, maybe there's a small chance I can live it, but I doubted it, and no, it's going to do more than the 8 damage it needed to. It's frustrating, but hey ho. I know that at this point I have to go into Ditto. I have to try and put pressure on him, but let's be honest, I don't really have much I can do. I pretty much just have to go into Eyelash Love Disc and try and get some wish passes back into things. But every time I do go into it, he can just go straight into Swanna. So I go for Toxic, like knowing that I can just wear this thing down, because it does reveal this Alamomola does have Toxic. But yeah, I can Toxic. I was hoping maybe to catch the Alamomola with it, or something, but I'm a scarfed Alamomola. I have to switch out now. I don't even have the HP that Alamomola does, so a Ditto Alamomola is the worst Alamomola. Oh, it's frustrating. But yeah, he's going to go for his Z move, and he's going to reveal something fairly cool, and I'm going to have to give him props for it. Oh, someone ringing me. Yes, I'm getting a phone call. I will not answer that. I don't know why I would be getting a phone call from anyone at this time, but hey ho. He's going to go for a Z Rain Dance, which I thought was actually really quite clever. I thought it was really cool, because it means that he can get rid of his poisoning, and it raises his speed by 1, and gives him fully accurate hurricanes, and powers up his water move. So that was actually really quite clever from him. Very, very impressed, and I have to give him props for the way he's approached this game. He knew how to exploit my weaknesses, and he's dealing with it. But to be honest, guys, this game is over. And I told a little bit of a white lie earlier by saying that this game, I hate doing this. I hate having to spoil games before they're actually over. I always think you should try and make every game a spectacle, but I've kind of written off this recording anyway. I hate doing this, I really do, but it's not necessarily because of the result, it's because of time constraints and personal stuff and frustration. But yeah, I'm pretty much just going to lose this game 5-0. As you can see, I'm just trying to play for differential at this point, but as long as that Alamomola's alive, I can't do anything. I have no way of beating that Alamomola, so he's just going to use that incredibly well, and he's going to just storm me out with it. I didn't bring enough Toxic users, I didn't bring sword stats on Talonflame, which could have been nasty, even sub bulk up or something, or roost bulk up or something, that could have been nice, but he is going to get a Hurricane miss there, which was a bit unfortunate, but at that point the damage had already been done. So it's like, I'm not sure it makes up for the crit he had on my Fortress earlier with the U-turn with Scizor, but I did get a return Volt Switch crit. His one just ended up mattering more. It's not a fact of I've been unlucky, it's a fact of I've been subdued to hacks at the wrong time. That's all it was. But yeah, I'm kind of just going to have to speed this up and show you the last sections of the game. This is what happens at the end. I go out into Thingy after a lot of stalling around and unfortunately being unable to beat his Alamomola. I end up in this situation, which is Beedrill on Scizor. I have to go for knockoff or switch out, which I do. I go out into the Rains, the Ditto, and I think he sets up a sword stance at this point. I'm not too sure. Genuinely can't remember. No, he goes for Roost. Yeah. I really don't even feel like I should be showing you the end of this game, guys. I really don't feel like I should at this point. Ditto had got poisoned as Swanner. But yeah, as you can see, I've already lost something else. I'm not really sure how else to commentate this. It's just ending up me, like... I hate doing these, and I've given a bit of a disclaimer at the start of the video. I've had to switch in Talonflame on something to try and wear things down at this point. He sets up a sword stance with Scissor, and at this point it's GG. Because he can just bullet punch everything I have. I don't have Gale Wings anymore because I'm not at full health. I can't out-prioritize him. I can't hit him with a flamethrower. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. I was beaten, and I do feel bad to you, Ethan, that I can't give this game the proper credit it should be having, because I don't like to put out bad content, but when it comes to a case of getting up any content over no content, I'd rather put something up, and I kind of have to. So yeah, I'm going to go out into Ditto, and I'm going to skip straight past this point because I'm just going to keep roosting and trying to stall out Timer. I hate saying I had to do that, but the only thing I could do at that point was try to stall out Timer for differential. Couldn't do it because I only had 5 roosts, otherwise I would have had it. But he's going to bullet punch me, and he's just going to keep taking me down fairly low. I'm just going to keep roosting up. He's going to get a crit, didn't matter in the slightest. But it's going to keep going on. He's going to keep getting worn down to Toxic. And I think at this point I just end up clicking Struggle because I'm out of roosts because I only have 5. So yeah. No, I had one more, but the next one, if I just skip forward a little bit. Nope, not there. Here, bullet punch. And I'm going to have to go for Struggle. Yep, I have no moves left. Struggle. Boom. Yeah, a bit nasty. That's a strong Struggle though. A +2 Sizzle Struggle. Does get Technician Boost because it's base 50. It's quite cool. It's good to know. I think it gets Technician Boost anyway, I'm not too sure. But yeah, Ditto's going to go down to the Toxic. It's a bit annoying. But yeah, this game was over as soon as my Fortress went down. And then the only thing I have left is Beedrill. So, yeah. That's the game. Obviously, my High Dragon's then going to come in and just get taken out to this bullet punch. So yeah, good game, Ethan. It was fairly hacksy on both sides, and it was long and stalled out. I had a lot of fun in the first half of it, as you can see by me actually narrating that. But yeah, at the end of the day, I was beaten by a guy who prepped better than I did, who played a way that I didn't expect him to play, and there was not much I could do about it. So I'm going to give you absolute full credit, and I wish you the best for the rest of your season. I'm not happy with the game because I don't enjoy playing those, but I don't blame you in the slightest for playing that way because it was the best way you had of winning. People can say what they want about stall, but it's a legitimate tactic, and if you don't prep for it, it's your own fault. So I'll take the L on that one, and I'll take it wholeheartedly. He played very well, and he brought a team that was absolutely primed to do the best it could against me. So congratulations, and I'd look forward to hopefully playing you again in playoffs if I can get there. So yeah. Next week we have Slyro and his Pittsburgh Pyro, I believe. So that should be fairly fun. I always have really nice games against Slyro. They're always quite entertaining, apart from the last time I played him in TBU. That was not the last time, the one before. Last time I played him in TBU, we actually won with a Blossom, so I wonder if we can repeat the Grass-type curse. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry about this upload. I really am. I don't like having to apologise for content, but I will do. Yeah, I'm sorry about all this video, but I appreciate if you have been watching, and I thank you very much for it. Yeah, cheers for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Guys, bye.